rookie soldier Solid Snake destroys the nuclear weapon Metal Gear, defeats conspirator and traitor Big Boss, and prevents a full-scale nuclear crisis, potentially saving the world. Well, the story doesn't end there, folks. Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake picks up several years later, with Solid Snake being forced to come out of retirement to perform another stealth mission in which the country's future hangs in the balance. Let's run through the story real quick. It's 1999, 2 years after the events of the first game. Nuclear age has ended, as all weapons have been disarmed. However, there's a huge shortage of oil, so a scientist named Dr. Marv develops a low-cost fuel source called Oilix, but is kidnapped by the fictional Central Asian country Zanzibar Land, who plans to hold the world hostage with this new oil and a bunch of scrap warheads. Solid Snake has since retired, but is brought back by Foxhound's new commander, Colonel Roy Campbell, to infiltrate Zanzibar Land and put an end to this shit. It's once again released only in Japan on the MSX2 computer, and once again it's a sneaking mission with the primary focus being not to get spotted by the enemy. There's still cameras, infrared sensors, and other booby traps of the like, but this time the enemy soldiers are a little more three-dimensional. Instead of just seeing in a straight line, they have a field of vision that extends to their peripherals, making it a little more realistic, and they can also hear if you walk on certain floors that induce some type of sound. Not all the changes are to your disadvantage though. Now you can get down and crawl, which is quieter, it can keep you more well hidden, and you can crawl into some little nooks and crannies, including ventilation ducts to get to certain areas. This is also the first Metal Gear game with the alert phase counter. Instead of just getting rid of all the enemies on the screen to get out of alert mode, this time you have to evade them completely, lose them, and then stay hidden until the alert counter goes back down to 0. You'll also get a radar to monitor enemies and the screens that are connected to the one you're on. The graphics have also been improved. It's a lot more colorful and there's more details, like the animated mug shots of the people talking on the transceiver, and the opening sequence and end credits have some pretty impressive shots. In true Metal Gear tradition, the soundtrack is fucking awesome. I could listen to that shit all day. In the last game, there were a few times when you'd get stuck because how the hell were you to know to punch this random wall to blow it up? In Metal Gear 2, there isn't so much of that cryptic shit, mainly because the people on the other end of the transceiver help you out a lot more. There'll be times when these guys are pretty necessary in figuring out certain spots, and I'll bring them up here and there, but I won't go into extreme detail about every single time that you need to talk to them to get information. So you'll start out crawling onto the top of this cliff and get a call from Colonel Roy Campbell, who will be giving you the instructions throughout the mission. He'll basically give you a briefing on your mission to rescue Dr. Marv and explains how to read your radar, adding the fact that Dr. Marv will show up on the radar as a red dot. So start out by going up and then head right to this truck, where you'll find a ration inside. Keep your eyes on the radar so none of the guards around you run into you, because you've got no weapons outside of your fists. Once you get out, head north and you'll get a call from Campbell telling you to crawl under the gap in the fence, so that's what you're going to do. Follow the path and hide behind one of these crates to let the guard pass you by and continue on, and crawl through this next fence gap right here. Wait for the guard to walk by and sneak up on him and punch him out before moving on. Then sneak through this next gap in the fence, keep your distance from this guard, and head up north where Campbell will call you and let you know that it's impossible to sneak in through the front, advising you to find another way in. Head into this truck to get the handgun. So you've got a weapon now, but there's no bullets. So head back out and crawl into this little vent in the wall. Head left and grab the ammo box. Now you can use your gun. Head back where you came from. The south path leads you back outside, and the north path leads you to a dead end. Go north at the first fork you crawled from, and head right and you'll get a call from Holly White, who simply explains that she's a journalist sent to Zanzibar Land and will provide you with information. Her frequency is 140.15. Make your way down this balcony and go left 2 screens, up 1, and into this door. These 2 guards here will come together and salute their national anthem or some shit. Sneak up on them and punch them out while they're distracted, and maybe they'll leave behind some goodies. Head back out, go right 1 screen, up another, and make a sharp left to the elevators. The left one doesn't stop on this floor, so punch the arrow buttons next to the elevator to call it. Get in and punch the up arrow outside the door to go up to the 2nd floor. Get out and head right, but keep in mind that these piped floors will make a noise each step you take, so don't go running around if there are guards on the screen. Drop on the floor and crawl. Head into this door to get the level 1 ID card, which will open all level 1 doors, which, like in the last game, you can't tell the difference from the outside which door it is, and you have to always equip it, which can make for a tedious pain in the ass when you get more cards later on in the game, but these cards will be merged together, and I'll explain it later. So head back out and go up. Use the level 1 card on this door and get the binoculars, which like in the last game lets you see the connecting screens to the one you're on to get a better idea of what to expect. So head back out and go up to get a ration. Then follow the edge of the wall, pass by this door because you can't get in yet, and grab the ammo here. Then move up this corridor back to the elevator and move up to the 3rd floor. Use the level 1 card on the door up here, move up 2 screens, and then use the card on this door up ahead. The sensor will periodically expand and then disappear. So wait for it to go away and then head down this corridor. There'll be more sensors in here that change location, but you can't see them unless you're smoking a butt, so equip your cigarettes and watch for when the sensors move so you can get past them and move downward. Use the level 1 card on this door, whip out the cigarettes again to see the sensors, and grab the gas mask. Now head back to the elevators and take the south door. Keep going until you get into this room. Kill the guard or let him leave, whichever tickles your fancy, and go through this door, which is filled to the yin-yang with poisonous gas, which will suck out your oxygen level and then drain your health and kill you. So after you open up the door, equip your gas mask and then you can pass. There's a camera up here that shifts back and forth, so get your level 1 card equipped and quickly head for the door on the left. In here you'll find Dr. Marv, so rescue him and... ah fuck, it's a trap. This isn't Dr. Marv at all, it's Black Color. Interesting name. So this is the first boss fight. He'll teleport from one side of the room to another and stop to throw 3 ninja stars. Whenever you get level with him, he'll start his teleportation and always move to the opposite side you're on, which makes it almost impossible to get your shot in. But if you're behind the crates, he won't teleport right away, so maneuver your way around the perimeter and be patient with avoiding his stars and take your shots whenever you see an opening. When he teleports outside the middle, he'll probably line up with you and teleport right back, so keep this process up until he's dead. As he's dying, he reveals that he is Kyle Schneider, Resistance member of Outer Heaven from the last game. He explains that after Snake destroyed Metal Gear, NATO conducted an air raid killing many civilians in Outer Heaven, including many war-orphan children that they wiped out to prevent their existence from going public. He then mentions the existence of someone who saved him, and tells you Dr. Marv is on the 1st floor, guarded by a green beret. He then dies, explodes, and leaves behind a level 2 card, which you'll want to pick up. Head back to where these sensors are and go right this time. Here there'll be a scrolling camera and sensors that change position. You don't want to get caught in the sensors obviously, and you don't want to get caught in front of the camera, so move quickly and use the level 2 card here to get the mine detector. Then go back to the elevators and take it back down to the 2nd floor. Head back around to the door on the west wall that you couldn't get in before using the level 2 card and grab the silencer. Now you can fire off your weapon without waking up the neighborhood. Then take the elevator down to the 1st floor where Dr. Marv apparently is. Head back down the stairway and make your way around the edge of the room until you get to this door. Use the level 2 card and you'll see this guard with a green hat. Follow him out the door here into the jungle, but don't kill him. You're trying to get him to lead you to Dr. Marv's cell, so don't be too hasty, because if he spots you, you'll have to start all over again. And if you kill him, you won't be able to find the cell. Even if you know which direction he goes, the game won't let you make it. So constantly turn around and check behind him, so never stay directly behind. Always use the bush as a barricade. When you get outside the cell, kill him and head inside. There's nobody in here, but you do hear this knocking sound. And there's a room to your right with someone in it, according to the radar. So what the hell do you do from here? Well, you can try calling some people, but they won't tell you anything useful in this situation. Even after you get the frequency to contact McDonald Miller, he won't tell you anything important either. So what do? Call frequency 140.82, which is what that tapping was apparently code for. That was kinda cryptic, wasn't it? Anyway, that frequency leads you to Dr. Petrovich, the creator of Metal Gear from the 1st game. He tells you that he and his friend Dr. Marv are both captured together, and that he's being held captive in the tower building right now. He also mentions that he's being kept alive because they need him to work on the new Metal Gear weapon that they have, and that the model from Outer Heaven was just an experimental version, and that Big Boss is behind it all. He insists that you leave him in the impenetrable cell for now and rescue Dr. Marv, who may not last too long in the interrogation room. He also gives you the frequency to animal expert Josef Norden at 140.40.